Are you curious about what's coming for marketing trends in 2020? Well, tune in while Bill, Alicia, and I talk about what's coming in 2020 and what has happened in 2019.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, and welcome to the Marketing Essentials podcast. Our unique team helps small businesses grow by providing essential marketing expertise.
Hello and welcome to the Marketing Essentials podcast. I am Bill with W Parmentier Photography.
I'm Justin of Justin Kerr Design.
I'm Alicia with the Spark Social.
And together we make up
the Marketing Essentials team.
You were so ready to go, Justin. You jumped ahead of it.
I am. I'm ready to go.
That's cool.
I've had my coffee and I've got my F-bomb and I'm ready to go.
And don't be throwing that F-bomb around. Always throwing F-bombs around. Anyway,
this is a safe for family podcast.
Yes. So today we're going to talk about trends that we've seen in this year and what we think are going to be continuing or new trends going into 2020.
Right.
Yeah. And respective to like our individual areas of work, I would say too, we break it down a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, some of the stuff will overlap a little bit, but that's fine. That's all part of marketing, visuals versus branding versus social media kind of pretty much fit into each other a lot. Mm-hmm. So first trend we want to talk about. Justin, why don't you give us your first one?
All right. So first, to look back at 2019, and one of the trends I had was augmented reality.
Okay, as opposed to virtual reality.
So VR and AR they've been around for a little while. Mm-hmm. And VR has kind of come and gone as the technology has advanced. VR is tough because it's a completely immersive experience. So you put a headset on, you're completely immersed in this virtual reality, and you can walk around and interact with things. Whereas augmented reality is you're still in the real world, but you're wearing some sort of device that includes other information layered over that reality.
Like Google Glass or something along that line. Obviously, Google Glass I think it was a little too far ahead of its time, but that's another story.
But Google Glass is a good example in that you wore these glasses and it presented information in front of your vision that augmented reality in some way. And
I think one of the manufacturers that has really started to have some good luck with it is actually the automotive industry. A lot of them are starting to do the heads-up displays. So that's where you're driving along and instead of looking at a dashboard with a speedometer and all that stuff, it's actually projecting that information up on your windshield. And sort of laying it over what you're seeing through your windshield. Which is very cool.
It's not distracting?
No, it's actually not because you're actually looking right through it. So it's not like, it's no worse than like having something hanging off your mirror in your peripheral. If you're not looking directly at it, you're looking through it. You're not paying attention to it.
And the military has been doing this for years. They call it a heads-up display or HUD.
Yep.
And they use it for their pilots. So as the pilots are looking out through the cockpit, they're seeing, instead of having to look down, they can see everything on the windscreen because looking down while you're going Mach 3 can be a little dangerous.
And I think that's why the automotive industry has taken it and said, okay, well, if we put it up on the windshield too, that now keeps our drivers from looking down, same situation. You look down for a split second, that's all it takes to get into an accident.
Right. Very true.
So anyway,
So getting back to marketing though, augmented reality has really started to come into its own, and it was one of the trends in 2019, mostly for shopping experiences. So, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a headset that you wear, but you can go into a store with your smartphone, and while you're in there, you can point your smartphone at a particular piece of merchandise, and it can call up information instantly and give you, information that otherwise might not be on that retail display.
Mm-hmm. Another cool version of that. Have you guys seen the augmented beer bottle labels? Not beer labels, but
wine labels?
Actually, Angry Orchard.
Oh, okay.
He's actually made augmented labels for his company that if you point your phone at the label, it'll actually show you the pairings that go best with that.
Oh. That's really cool. I was thinking of 19 Crimes or 19 Stories, and it's the wine bottle of like people of past where they've been like executed for like, I don't know, leaving their cows out all night or something. Like, it's very bizarre stuff. Like, back in the olden days where they were like, I don't know.
Well, no, that's a great example of augmented reality though, especially in regards to marketing. So you're intrigued by the ability to point your phone at this bottle of wine and get a story.
Sure.
And it creates this little tribe of people like, oh, have you seen the way these wine labels work? And of course, you want to go see all of the stories.
It's really cool. Like this face comes out on the wine bottles and starts talking to you.
And
Before you had to do that just on your own by getting drunk without your phone.
Now you can do it sober. Well, I wonder what it looks like drunk, though. It's like, is that augmented reality?
This label is talking to me.
You're not even pointing your phone at it. I know it's still talking.
Well, actually, that segues into mine, which is a trend from 2019, which is continuing on, is video. Video is still king, and it's going to be for the near future. So augmented reality uses aspects of video a lot, like we were just talking about, the pairings where you click on something and it's going to show you a mini video. So people are using video more and more creatively. And it's definitely a trend that I see going on into 2020.
What are some of the cool things that you've seen over this last year?
Well, obviously,
to video,
360 imagery is starting to take off. I was originally on that train saying, maybe that's a sort of like the 3D TVs and stuff like that it was going to go away. But I don't see it happening as much as I thought it would. I think it's really starting to take hold a little bit. Yeah. So people are using 3D imagery to do 3D walkthroughs of real estate. So now you can be in California and see a walkthrough of a house in a video format,
right,
from California, and you can look at a house in Rhode Island.
Well, I've seen also a lot of museum sites use it as walkthroughs for their museums.
Yeah, and then usually have like a little, you can click on a painting and it'll have somebody come up as a video and talking about that painting, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Sorry, I leaned back because I was going to sneeze and I didn't want to do it right in the microphone.
I get you. So yeah, I mean, there are a lot of cool uses as far as video going forward, but the reality is it's still, even just traditional video still is going to be continuing to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Sure. Well, I think one of the reasons is that it's gotten easier and easier to do video.
Sure.
Not only to take it, but also to be able to host it on, social media channels and your website. So I think as the threshold for the technology comes down, people are just going to do it more and more.
And let me tell you, the new iPhone, it's got some incredible cameras on it.
Oh, is that the one with 3 cameras on the back of it?
Let me tell you, I actually saw. This is before they released it. I'm not even sure if they've released it yet.
Yeah, it's out.
They finally released it.
Yeah.
I actually saw a. This is more on the imagery end, but I saw a comparison to a
DLSR.
Yeah, I forget which version of it was, but it was a high-end DSLR. And if you didn't know what you were looking for, you would never tell the difference between the two. I mean, photographers could because they know where the artifacts are and certain things, but the average person would never even have a clue as to what was the differences between them. So, I mean, it's amazing what they can do. So,
do you happen to know on the new ones, have they improved the facing camera at all?
That's the one thing that I'm disappointed to see. Most of them are not. And I don't know why that is, especially with us being a selfie generation coming up now.
Right. You think they would up the quality on that?
Yeah, usually,
camera.
I think the top one is maybe 5 to 8 megapixels. So, yeah, I mean, I right now, this year, right now, 2019, 70% of consumers say they have shared a brand's video. 70% of consumers. So that means, so there's a number for you. Here's another stat. 72% of businesses say video has improved their conversion rate.
Wow.
72%.
Yeah. And it's only going to go up, I think, in 2020.
I think one of the things that I'm concerned about is that everybody's using video now. And so you have these larger brands that have the budget and have the ability to hire marketing companies and come up with these creative storylines and have it done professionally. And now for the average business, the local business in this crowded market of video, it becomes harder and harder to stand out.
Absolutely. And I will say this, and I'm probably one of the few people that will say this, is I would guess by the middle to the end of this coming year, the Facebook Live is going to start to dwindle a little bit because people are going to be demanding more polished looking videos. People are going to be looking for, because the market is getting so saturated with video right now, unless you've got good quality video out there, it's just going to get lost.
I don't know I think quality is important, but also I think it might just be the content of the video. Right. So like storytelling,
absolutely,
really like resonating stronger with your core audience versus maybe just trying to be broad for everybody.
I agree wholeheartedly with you on that. The only thing I would add to what I mean by less polished is a lot of people don't understand the basics of doing a video.
Very true.
I cannot tell you how many Facebook Lives I've looked at where somebody's hand holding the camera and you're getting nauseous within 30 seconds of listening to them talk because they're bouncing all over the place, and people are going to demand more out of that. I'm not saying Facebook Live's going away. I'm just saying it's going to be one of those things that you're going to have to be more intentional about it. You're going to be more intentional about the story you're telling. You have to be more intentional about the composition of it. That's where it's going to be important.
No, you're right. And I think it kind of like the pictures that people think are just done on their phone, or the videos that are just done on their phone. They don't see the behind the scenes.
No, they don't.
Where
they
there's
really don't.
lighting, and there's maybe, you can buy some lighting for your phone. You can buy mics. You can buy the gimbal, like you said, and people don't see that, so they just assume.
But I think the main point is, it's not just going to be enough for you to stare into your phone and say something. You're really going to need to consider the content. Yeah. Content is still king.
Absolutely.
Especially for video.
Absolutely.
So let's move on to the next trend. Alicia, what have you got for 2019?
Well, I think with social media and digital paid is still part of the marketing mix, but I feel that people are becoming a little more savvy and they don't want to be targeted as much with these paid advertisements. And if you are using paid, it needs to feel more organic. So people want the stories. They want the instant little experiences and looks into the business where it's like a behind the scenes versus just a static ad that's, they're going to scroll right through on their feed. They want more instant experiences, more in touch stuff, and things that look more organic.
Yeah, people are starting to smell out ads. It's interesting because I was at a Google seminar last week, and a speaker from Google had come in to talk about all things Google. The biggest thing was Google My Business, but one of the things that was discussed was Google Ads. And somebody brought up a very, what I thought was a very good point, is that people are starting to even scroll over ads. So when you do a Google search, you get the first 2 or 3, you'll see the little word ad next to it. The consensus in the room that we were in, we're all like, we all skip over that part that says ads. We're looking for something that's original, something that's real. Something that's real. I'm not saying that you should get rid of Google AdWords or Facebook ads altogether. I'm just saying potential clients or customers are becoming more savvy about that. And they're avoiding what they know they're going to be sold to.
Well, the same thing happened back in the late 90s, early 2000s with banner ads.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it was... The hot thing was banner ads, right? 2003, 2004.
Everybody
we had clients buying them left and right. And then, banner ad blindness came along and people were not paying any attention to them anymore. And the price point on banner ads came way down because nobody was looking at them anymore.
It's funny. Funny you say that because YouTube still uses a lot of the banner ads either on the bottom part or the upper part of
They do. But the ones that I really hate are the ones that precede and interrupt my video watching experience.
You and me both. But the thing is, I've also noticed, you're talking about banner blindness.
Yeah.
More times than not, I can find that little X on that advertisement faster than I can actually read what's on the advertisement. Yeah. So I never even read it. I just click on that X as fast.
But the ones that you have to actually sit through, or at least the first, 7 seconds of it, I mean, they're pretty savvy. They're really pushing everybody towards a subscription base because, I want to watch a 10-minute video and I got to watch 2 ads right in the middle.
Let me tell you, unless it's somebody that I'm really interested in listening from, usually as soon as I hit that first ad, I'm already on to the next thing. I'm already on to a different. I guess
I'm a little more dedicated. It's like, I'm spending the time to watch this video.
Like if I'm watching, stupid car crash scenes or something like that. If I get to the first video, the commercial, I'm like, when I'm waiting that 5 or 6 seconds, I'm like, do I really want to wait 5 to 6 seconds more to see something that's mind-numbingly, mind candy or whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, I guess so.
So I just get rid of it. But anyway, sorry, let's not get too far into that. But so yeah, I mean, what you're saying is people are looking for original content.
So don't put all your eggs in one basket and just do paid. You really do need to invest in your organic, and you do need to think about the strategy and the approach you're going to use to, even if it is paid, to make it look more organic.
That actually ties into one of the things I have, if you don't mind my jumping. I know, Justin, you would probably be next, but do you mind if I jump in?
No, go right ahead.
Omnichannel. How much do you guys know about omnichannel advertising marketing?
So just being in all places.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's really kind of multi-channel is what used to be the keyword in 2018 going into 2019, where you had multi-channel was, okay, you're going to do something online, you're going to do something print marketing, so on and so forth. Omni-channel is now what we've been talking about for like the last year. You're not only looking at the individual multi-channels, but you're also looking at within, okay, my online presence. I'm making sure that it's consistent from my social media to my website to wherever else I'm putting this stuff out online. More that branding identity, like we're talking about, Justin, we've talked about before, where you want to make sure you're consistent across all those brands to make sure, across all those channels,
right?
So that you make sure you fit in well. So that's the new buzzword this coming year is omni-channel. Yeah.
Wow, which seems like it would be common sense.
You would think, but right? A lot of people are just thinking, I just need multi-channel, which means I'll do my print here, I'll do this here, and none of them will all mix up. It's just, we're just going to have multiple channels to get things out there.
Yeah, that's crazy. When we start working with a client, we're very, very detailed and like, we need all your print material. We need all your print collateral. We need to know about all your events. We need to know what else you're doing on digital. And we look at their website and we try to match that up with what can be done on social, because there can't be that disconnect from one channel to another.
And what they're actually even suggesting, I'm sorry, do you want?
No, I was just agreeing with Alicia.
The other thing they're suggesting now is if you're talking about a specific thing, what ends up happening is traditionally you might talk about one part of your business on Instagram, say, and another part of your business on Facebook.
Or like you're buying up direct mailers in that department, you're a local business. You don't have an advertising agency. So you maybe pay a social media company or a digital agency. Then you go to the local newspaper and you get an ad with them. And then you get a different designer for your direct mail.
And the problem is it all mixes up.
And the average business owner doesn't really have that sense of branding and consistency. Well, I wish they always would,
but they
don't always have the time or even the understanding of the concept.
And with omni-channel, so let's take, I don't know, a wine. You have a specific type of wine. You want to be able to push that out to all of your channels, not just talk about wine on this channel and say you sell beer on another channel.
Right. So just to clarify, though, when you say omni-channel, are you talking about trying to take advantage of all of the possible marketing channels? Or are you just saying in the ones that you're already using,
make sure you're consistent,
you want to be consistent across those? Okay, because somebody listening might go, oh my God, I don't have the time to do all these.
No, but
it's like maybe in the 3 or 4 that you do have.
Correct.
Make sure you're consistent across all those channels.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now let me throw you some stats here. I'll give you 4 stats.
Stat me.
Engagement rate. There's an 18.96% higher chance on omni-channel versus 5.4%.
Okay.
So that means basically that's a big jump right there. Purchase frequency, here's a big one. If you're using omni-channel versus single channel, meaning so you're selling versus one channel, whether it be print marketing or a Facebook ad or whatnot, you're looking at about a 250% higher sales rate.
Wow.
When you're using multi-channel, because you're not going to catch everybody on every channel. Plus the fact is they may see it on Facebook and then all of a sudden they're on Instagram, they see it again. We've talked about touch points. You got 5, 6, 7 touch points. The more touch points you have, the more likely they're able to purchase from you.
And that's just because
they're seeing it more.
You're not necessarily convincing them to purchase, but with 5 to 7 or even 9 touches, you're going to hit them at one point when they are ready to buy.
Yep.
So it's timing. It's not necessarily that your marketing is going to be that persuasive.
Exactly. Now these next 2 stats really caught me.
Okay.
Average order value, 13% more of the average order size if you're using omni-channel, excuse me.
Okay.
So now if you're using more than one channel, you're making more per sale.
You're supersizing it, so to speak. Yeah.
And then customer retention rate, this is one that really surprised me, 90% higher.
Wow.
For omni-channel versus single
okay,
channel.
how does it translate? So you're doing your marketing omni-channel and you're retaining clients because they continue to see you, or is it follow-up?
It's the whole top of mind thing. You know what I mean? If you've got a client that's now seeing you on 4 channels, say, let's just take 4 for a number to throw out there, 4 separate channels. They buy from you now, and we've talked in the past about how one single channel like Facebook may not, and I'm just picking on Facebook directly, but they see it on Facebook. They may only see 2% of the posts that you put up organically on Facebook.
Right.
But now you've got multiple channels, so now you've got a better chance of them seeing it to stay top of mind, which means your retention rate is going to be higher.
Okay.
So the more you can stay top of mind, the better chance you have of retaining a customer.
All right.
So that's the whole point of doing the omni-channel.
All right, omni-channel, great trend. I'm gonna put one out here that's gonna bridge both this year and 2020, and I'm imagining that both you're gonna want to weigh on this. Cannabis. It really started to come into its own last year.
Kind of on the high side?
Yeah, I was trying to avoid any kind of cannabis puns, but
you knew I was
obviously no. Yeah,
you knew with me I was gonna go there. So
yeah, it's all right. I'll take the hit.
I'm gonna stop right there.
Don't. So there's cannabis industry.
It's blowing up.
Is absolutely getting huge. It's only going to get bigger in 2020 and beyond. So I think a lot of people are trying to figure out, all right, how is this going to affect the way I'm marketing my product or service? Because it's not just, the growers, the distributors, the retail places, but there's also the ancillary stuff that's going to feed into this enormous market. So everybody is going to play some sort of role in this. And as far as, just the cannabis industry itself, it's moved from, the back room to Main Street, right? Everybody knows about it. It has huge branding and marketing potential and opportunities. Sure. And when I say cannabis, I'm not talking about just medicinal or recreational. I'm talking about CBD oil, the whole thing. Sure,
there's a lot. The whole hemp industry. Thank you.
And here's where the trend is only going to get bigger and bigger, is that the big brands are now starting to wade into this area of cannabis. So you have brands like Constellation, which is the maker of Corona, right? Altria, which is the maker of Marlboro cigarettes, and InBev, which is the maker of Budweiser. All three of these brands have announced investments in the Canadian cannabis companies. Yes. And they're starting to experiment with how can we bring these into our products. So this has, cannabis has implications for branding. It has implications for, your field in the marketing and social media.
I can give you my 2 cents because I've been wading into that industry lately. Yeah. Dealing with CBD and hemp oil and things along that line. I've got some clients in that area. I agree with you that it's an up and coming industry. I think it's still fledgling at this point because of the fact that it's still not federally legal yet in a lot of cases. And I'm not talking on the CBD oil, and I'm talking from the THC and the recreational use.
Right. But even the stuff that's legal in all 50 states, CBD, first of all, CBD oil is not regulated by the FDA.
No.
But you've also got a much bigger market for medicinal marijuana than you have for recreational. So there's still a huge market there.
Yeah. The only reason I say it's still fledgling at this point is they're still trying to figure out what to do with it right now. For instance, a lot of the manufacturers are having trouble getting good quality credit card processing, things along that line, because anybody that's got anything to do with the federal government right now doesn't want to touch it. Because they can't insure it. They can't do any of that stuff. Right. So that's opening up. But I agree with you wholeheartedly.
They're eventually going to get all that worked out. But in regards to marketing, though, I think there's a lot of potential.
And that's what I was going from there. The marketing potential. What I tell to the small clients that I'm dealing with, the guys that are the local growers, this is the perfect time for them because they're getting in on the ground floor, so to speak, and building a brand name, brand recognition right now is of the utmost priority, because another year or two from now, when things start to really break open,
it's going to get really crowded.
It's going to get crowded. So if you're a known quantity right now, and let's be honest, we all know brands that are okay products, but because of the brand, people buy it anyway. It may not be the top product. It may not be the best.
Yeah, they want to be part of that tribe.
Because they have the brand.
I like my iPhone, but...
But no, I mean, the reality is there's a lot of companies that make a lot of money off of brand recognition, more so than having a good high-end, high-quality product.
Right.
And if you're in that industry right now, the cannabis industry, this is the time to get with somebody like you, Justin, to get the branding underway, to get social media is tough. It's a total different, there are still cannabis industry people that are getting shut down on Facebook left and right.
Yeah. Have you had any experience in that yet? Alicia, have you had anybody approach you?
We have had people approach us. We do not have a client to date because of them. So you have to be really careful on Instagram and Facebook. And also, they're just in their startup stages sometimes, so they don't have that brand in place to bring to social. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, the problem that runs with social right now is Facebook is so secretive about what's going to get shut down. That
they shut down so much stuff.
I'm serious. Yeah. I was talking to a guy the other day that sells products for using not the cannabis product itself, but the accessories like the vape products and stuff like that. He's been shut down twice on Facebook. Yeah. Because if you mention the word cannabis on Facebook, you can get shut down.
Yeah, you can't do any type of.
That's how ridiculous it is right now.
Yeah, so Facebook will shut down. They actually, this is off topic, but shutting stuff down like before and after pictures and dieting teas and things like that. So, and that's what we deal with when we deal with it's a private company.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want.
Well, they're publicly traded, but it's still not a government. No. It's not regulated by any freedom of speech. They can do what they want.
Let me ask you this. If giants like Facebook and Instagram are shutting these down, do you think this is going to develop sort of a second tier or maybe like an underground social
There already is one out
network?
There. It's already being developed right now.
Oh, yeah?
I forget the name of it. One of the guys at the meeting I went to last week was talking about it. Yeah. There's literally an alternative to Facebook out there right now for the hemp industry.
And so same thing with hiring. There is I think a 25-year-old woman who found that people who are looking to hire in the CBD cannabis industry couldn't post on job sites like Indeed and whatnot. So she started a job site just for that industry. And I think that she's doing quite well.
See, it's the free market finds a way. It's like,
Yay.
Well, no.
It's good. It is good.
People that are part of this developing industry, and we could talk about the politics of it and disagree or agree with it.
Could be its own podcast, maybe.
But I'm not really interested in that. I'm more interested in the marketing aspects of this industry because it's not going away.
Yeah. That's interesting. I just did a quick look because I was trying to figure out what the name of that alternative Facebook.
Yeah.
What's it called? I wasn't able to find it, but this is something I didn't realize. Facebook is now shutting down ads that have the word CBD in them.
Interesting.
So CBD is legal in most states, if not all.
Yeah. Well, probably. You know what? I'm not an expert on this, so I'm not going to talk on it.
It's probably got because
there's a THC level.
Well, there are certain versions of CBD oil that have THC in them.
Right.
So Facebook probably just took a blanket thing and said.
Well, they just took a $4 billion hit from the government, so they're being very, very careful. It's like, please don't sue us.
Okay, I don't want to. We could go on for another hour about cannabis.
So that was cannabis. So Alicia, what do you got for a 2020 trend?
Well,
what's coming down the pike?
I also think that kind of on that same note of people on social media wanting less paid and advertising, more organic, is that we're going to see a shift towards more offline and approach where it's personalized. Marketing is personalized. They don't want to just be a number anymore. They don't want to be targeted with this mass advertising campaign. Mm-hmm. They want these personalized and offline experiences. So you're going to see brands doing a lot of events, not just, radio campaigns or advertising campaigns, but actual events that would speak to their core audience. So it could be that like a beer company. Oh, this was one actually, we did this last year. Harpoon Beer did like a series of events through New England where they got people outdoors and you got together and you drank beer. You went kayaking and got a beer. Yeah. You went hiking and got a beer. So it's like creating that brand. There was always beer after. Yeah.
And got a beer.
Get people outdoors. I think that's great.
Yeah. But it was a way for Harpoon to connect with people instead of just posting and posting and posting and ads and ads and ads. And so I think brands are going to start to see this offline type of personalized approach, and events are a great way to do that.
Yeah, that's actually was one of the ones on my list as well for 2020 was personalized branding.
Actually, that's funny you say that because the last thing on my list actually kind of fits in with that perfectly on the digital digital end.
Okay.
Which is called micro moments. Have you guys heard about these yet?
Micro moments.
You've heard a little bit about
So
them.
every buyer has tons of different experiences online, and we craft these buyer journeys. Let me know if I'm wrong, Bill. But we craft these buyer journeys assuming that everybody starts at point A, goes to point B through C, and then ends up with your brand or your product. But the reality of the situation is that there is so much available to us digitally that micro moments are how each individual user goes about making a decision.
Yes.
And unfortunately for brands, there is no one path.
No, exactly.
It is micro moments. So you could have Sally looking at makeup and she's going to go to Ulta's website. Then she's going to look at a YouTube blogger. Then she's going to go read some stuff from her friends. She's going to post. And then you have Bob who's looking at a car and he could be doing this and it's different than the next guy. And it just varies.
The best way
Or
to think,
Bob could be looking for makeup.
Yeah. You know, whatever.
Hey, I don't want to discriminate, you know?
the best way to look at micro moments is think of them as I want moments.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a person like you may be sitting there and you go, hey, I want to know more about X. Now you're going to go online and do that, like they were talking about the car.
So let me see if I understand. The micro moments are the touch points that the person has with the brand.
They typically hit 4 things.
Okay.
I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to go. So I want to go to a restaurant. Show me a local restaurant. I want to do something I want to do here.
Oh,
so
I thought you were going to keep the rhyme going.
And then finally, I want to buy. So those are your 4.
No,
go, do, and buy.
Do and buy.
So basically what you want to do is you want to target your marketing towards those 4 moments.
Okay.
Somebody that's going to want to do something, know something,
go,
or
do, buy. Sounds like a children's book.
Doesn't it?
Should be like a Dr. Seuss book. Yeah.
We're going to do a Dr. Seuss marketing book by the Marketing Essentials team.
You see, Google has shifted the way that people, the way that they display these search results. So if you say, and this is one of my trends, hey Google,
Voice.
hey Siri, hey Alexa, how long will it take me to get to?
Hey Joe. But.
Yeah. Hey Nick. No. Hey whatever. But like you know.
Hey Macarena. What?
Yeah. So, but users are now. So it might be, hey Alexa, where can I order pizza from?
Mm-hmm.
And so on desktop, you'll see when people are shopping, I think they tend to be more visual. So they're going to like their phone or desktops to type in,
now it's more conversational.
Comforters for sale, furniture for sale. And then Google has shifted the results that are being displayed by having the Google shopping
And the another interesting thing that Google has glammed onto as far as that is also people usually when they're going online, they want to look for something local.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Google Maps itself has taken off. If you do a desktop search on anything, the first 3 things you're going to see on the right-hand side or usually somewhere in that area is going to be a Google map with 3 businesses that support whatever you're asking for.
And bringing it back to my original trend of augmented reality, Google Maps has started to beta test augmented reality.
Yep.
So if you're walking,
you can find it. Yep.
It puts arrows and things on the screen to show you you're going to go up here. You know, you can just hold your phone at where you're going and it'll say, oh, turn right here.
So there's going to be a bunch of people walking in telephone poles looking at their...
Well, actually, no, it'll help you avoid the telephone poles because it's augmented reality. You'll see the telephone pole because you'll be looking up.
As you're about to hit it.
Well, yeah. Like here I go to hit a telephone pole.
But I mean, like I said, I was at a Google seminar last week, and one of the things that they stated was that the biggest amount of hits that people are going to get is going into the future is going to be through Google Maps, which means you need to Google My Business.
You stole it, Bill. I was totally going to say for local businesses, it's so important.
Google My Business is huge right now.
Because I think the businesses think, well, how do I prepare for people asking on Alexa or Siri? How do I set up my voice search? The very basic answer is just make sure your listings are correct because Alexa, Siri, they're all just bots gathering information off the internet.
Right. So if you haven't watched our episode with Mark Collins
go back and
on
listen.
Google My Business, go listen to that episode because it's a step-by-step on how to get that up and running.
I will add one more thing to that we didn't talk. I don't remember if we talked about it with Mark, is the verification process. If you're not verified there's a difference between getting a Google My Business page and being verified. Verified, they send you a
little postcard.
And you have to, if you're not verified, you're not able to change any of your information as far as your hours, your posting stuff like that. So if you don't do that ahead of time.
Yeah, I think that was in the step-by-step directions.
You have to own your Google
You have to, If you don't, you don't even show up.
Right. So having that really good Google My Business page is going to tie into local search.
Correct.
If people are walking around with their phones going, hey, where can I get a cup of coffee? Right where I am now. It ties into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even if you're somebody like us that doesn't have a physical location,
right,
there's still benefits to using Google My Business. It'll still get you up in that search ranking. So it wouldn't show you the augmented reality part. But.
What freaks me out a little bit though is that, Alexa and Siri sort of listening to your conversations and then suggesting things based on what they hear. And you're not even you're not saying, "Hey, tell me where I can go get a donut right now." You're just listening to the conversations you're having.
I just see that as an extension. It's no different than going on. Come on, we've all been on Amazon and searched product, and all of a sudden you're on Facebook going, "Hey, why am I getting all these ads shown to me for the same product that I was just looking at a few minutes ago?" Right. It's just another extent. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's another extension of that.
I'm just saying it's freaking me out a little bit. That's all.
I get it. I get you. I hear. Well, we're our overlords are coming.
No, they're here. Oh, they're here. And I, for one, welcome our new overlords.
Good. I know. It's like I kind of like the
Apple, Amazon.
Like,
what?
Yeah.
If they're gonna take the work out of like me finding, like if I'm looking for a pair of shoes and then all of a sudden I see 10 more pairs of shoes when I get on Facebook, I'm like, hey, cool, whatever.
The only time it drives me nuts is after I've already purchased something and then I still continue to see ads for it. It's like, stop! I've already bought it. You should, if you're looking at me enough to know that I'm looking at this, you should be also to be able to tell that I've already bought it.
Yeah.
Harumph. Anyway,
okay. They can.
I think so. Did we cover what was your 2020 trend, Bill?
Well, those were all the trends, but going forward,
micro moment, and
I know we've gone a little bit over today, but I'd like to just do one more quick once around.
Okay.
About trends that we would either think are going away or would like to see go away.
Well, I already mentioned mine, and that is Siri and Alexa basically eavesdropping on any conversation I might have. I would like that to go away. I'm afraid it's probably not going to happen.
Mine's a similar one that I'd love to see go away. I from all ideas.
But you know what? I think sort of my cynicism aside and paranoia is that I do think this sort of thing, this extremely integrated and personalized marketing, at some point, I think is going to really spur the movement of having digital breaks. Where people are like, you know what, I need to completely get away from digital for a certain period of time because I'm just completely immersed in it, and everywhere I go, somebody's trying to sell me something. So I think that's going to be
so mine along that same line is mine that I'd love to see go away, but I don't see it going away. Is chatbots. I know Alicia loves chatbots. I personally hate being interrupted when I'm scrolling through my Facebook to be sold something.
Okay. I don't mind bots so much because I can disconnect from them and I don't feel guilty because I haven't done it to a real human being.
I mean, I think they serve a great purpose as long as they're not bothering me.
All right. Alicia, do you have one that you kind of wish would go away?
This is an old one and I doubt it's going to go away, but celebrity endorsements, they just die. Like, why? Like, they don't use these products that they're endorsing.
At which point did we start caring what celebrities endorsed?
Right around the 30s.
Really, the 30s?
Really?
I was going to say it goes back to Nike and the Jordans.
I got to be honest with you. I don't ever remember making a decision based on something a celebrity was trying to talk.
No, if you go back...
I believe you.
It goes back to the 30s, and it's sort of part of the whole studio model. The studios owned the actors and actresses that worked for that studio. So if you were signed to Warner Brothers, they owned you. They told you what movies to be in.
Yeah, they also told you which ads to make.
But they also said, you're going to go advertise for this cigarette company. And you didn't have a choice.
No, I get that.
So the studio, well, this is even before Mad Men. Yeah. So the studios were telling their actors and actresses, you're going to be a spokesperson for this particular product because we have a deal with Philip Morris and you're going to be the spokesperson.
Yeah, I get that part. I'm just thinking to myself, if I ever purchased anything on an impulse because some celebrity hawked it, and I can't remember ever doing that.
No, but influencers maybe. So maybe. Someone in the photography field could be considered an influencer if they're recommending a certain piece of equipment. But that's because it's a tailored experience and you're like, this person is actually probably using this equipment.
I think that's a different story.
Original.
I think, I mean, if you had a high-end branding expert hawking something, okay, maybe I'll believe it.
Yeah, versus Taylor Swift.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anyway.
Exactly. So it's unbelievable. And I just kind of like, it is beyond me why it still exists.
I don't care what Jay-Z is selling. I don't care about what he's hawking because he's got nothing that interests me. Yeah. But anyway. Sorry,
We're
Tracy.
gonna get some hate mail, I'm sure. From
Cool.
This one.
Well, Yeezys are like Kanye's like line, and like these things go for so much money because they're like
Who was the one that was promoting Beats forever and a day?
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre. Yeah. Well, he owns part of the company, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know Apple bought them.
Yeah. But anyway, it's just anyway.
Yeah.
So I guess we've gone way over. So I apologize.
Well, speaking of shameless plugs, we do this podcast because we're promoting the Marketing Essentials team.
Hey, yeah, the little thing called the Marketing Essentials team.
Right.
Who's in it again?
That would be you, me, and Alicia.
Cool.
We mentioned a lot of trends. I think podcasting will probably continue
I would agree with that.
as a trend because there are so many of them out there that you can find one that is tailor fit for your interests.
I think the other end of that is also vlogging is going to start taking off, which I didn't have on my list. But as people, I don't know that people are ever going to get away from blogging itself, but I see more and more people that aren't comfortable writing going that way. But anyway, I digress.
All right, we got to wrap this up.
That's for another time.
That's right. Got to wrap this up.
Okay, so if you want to learn more about what the Marketing Essentials team does and how we can possibly help you,
you can find us online at our website.
Yes.
You can find us. You can find us at Rooms and Works once a month because that's where we do our recording.
Or you can find us on Facebook.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
So I think that wraps it up for this episode. And until next time,
we'll see you then. Thank you for joining us today. And as always, you can find the back episodes of our podcast on Apple Podcasts. And you can also find us on our YouTube channel. Both of them are the Marketing Essentials team.
You can find us on the web at marketingessentialsteam.com. And if you subscribe through our website, you'll receive a weekly email and letting you know when each episode has been published. Also, you'll receive a link to subscriber-only content.
You can also find us on Facebook in our private Facebook group. Just search Little Roadie Marketing Support Group. It's a great place for other marketing professionals and business owners where we can share marketing advice, challenges, and general trends. Hope to see you there.